the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Come on, set, 8, read. You ain't going nowhere.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
You ain't doing nothing today. Buzz. Mark 5.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Mike Alpha. 5. Ready, go.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Johnson, the intended target. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Now Rodgers. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Get ready. SOS. Check. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position. Where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch twist. Watch stop. Check 31.
They'll run it with Johnson.
It's run, baby. It's run.
Well, he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big run there by Johnson. 58 yards. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Yep, he's moving. He's moving, boys. He's moving. By 5. Here we go. Here we go. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Box track.
2nd and 6. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Looking to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Johnson was the intended receiver.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 30. Check. Boys the mud. Let's go, defense. Out top. Hey, Haywood.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's caught by OBJ. That goes for a gain of 31. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. but that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Rodgers throwing again. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Here's Jones. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will he be able to...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Hang with us. Echo, number 33. Watch number 33. Bush formation. Ready.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing just about on his own goal line. And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He's got it to Williams. And he works free. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Check out, read. Check. All right.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
Right there.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Come on, set. 60, orange. Got the run. Set, go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Going up top. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage.
Intercepted by the Packers. His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Let's go, defense.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, take 26. Look at this.
On second and 11 now. Rodgers got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Go, go. Charlie. 36, to put up.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Second and 14. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 46.
Let's make Greystone travel. Greystone travel. Ready to go.
Running from the gun, Johnson. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Again, it's Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd down, Bowser. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Protein Smith. He's coming, double up.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Delta.
Line 36. Line 36.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Hey, Charlie.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Mike, watch the pass, watch the pass. Here we go, here we go.
Run. Motion. Go, Mike. Box it. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. It's time to calm the crowd. Here, Mike. Hey, Alpha.
I got you, son. Go, Mike, 50.
Now Rodgers going to throw again. It's caught. Beckham. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Check 13. Switch. Switch.
Teammate. Switch. 150. Small. 150.
Rodgers going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
319.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, touchdown number 22 on the season. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's 2nd and 8. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Mike 5. Ready, go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. They'll drop the throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Smoke. Mike 5. I got one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Buzz. Mike 5. Let's go. Mike 5.
I'm coming. Mike 5. Wrap it.
Now.
Wrap it.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check the backer. Teammate.
Rodgers throwing here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll run it with Jones. They find some open field here. Jones breaking from the contact. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Forced out to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Mike 36. Mike 36. Watch the run. Watch the run.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm copy, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there was some hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on